With what feels like a new Dreamworks movie coming out every month now, the Dreamworks Theory is holding out strong as we now have a new film in this world in the form of Orion and the Dark. I really wanted to do another video this week, but that other video is me making an entire new movie idea to close out the entire DCEU that just finished. And that video is going to be about 45 minutes long, so I just wanted to get this one out in between because I noticed this movie came out, thought I would check it out and add it into the Dreamworks Theory. So welcome to Big Flick Energy, and let's get right into how the film Orion and the Dark fits into the Dreamworks Theory. In this film, Orion seems a lot like your average elementary school kid. Shy, unassuming, harboring a secret crush, but underneath his seemingly normal exterior, Orion is a ball of adolescent anxiety, completely consumed by irrational fears of bees, dogs, the ocean, cell phone waves, murderous gutter clowns, which is an obvious reference to the movie It, and even falling off a cliff. But of all his fears, the thing he's the most afraid of is what he confronts on a nightly basis, the dark. So when the literal embodiment of his worst fear pays a visit, the dark whisks Orion away on a roller coaster ride around the world to prove there is nothing to be afraid of in the night. As the unlikely pair grows closer, Orion must decide if he can learn to accept the unknown, to stop letting fear control his life, and finally embrace the joy of living. Watching this film, the big thing that stands out to me is who the night entities are. They are comprised of dark, sleep, sweet dreams, quiet, unexplained noises, insomnia, and I guess light, who isn't a night entity and is actually a day entity. So pretty much these are the characters that make sure that somebody goes to sleep, and all the things that we notice at the nighttime, these are the entities that provide them. So looking at the roles of these characters, it seems as if these characters need to be connected to the film Rise of the Guardians, and specifically to Sandman. One can make the case that Dark and Pitch Black have similar bases of what they are pushing for with the Dark, but the Dark in this film doesn't want kids to fear him, so in a lot of ways I see this film as an unofficial sequel to Rise of the Guardians, where the Dark has been feared because of Pitch Black, the Nightmare King, and with Pitch Black gone, given how Rise of the Guardians ended, the Dark is trying to remove fear of him from the world. So now, how do the night entities work in this world if Sandman does their exact same job? Well, they don't. You see, while watching this movie and having a full theory prepared for this episode, the last 30 minutes of the movie happened, which made it very obvious the night entities are just the imagination of a little kid and a story passed on to his family through generations. In the end, it's actually a beautiful story that, in all honesty, doesn't need to connect into this world the same way the other projects do. Instead, it just shows us how the world has changed over time, showing how technology has taken over in many ways, with light pollution not allowing humans to see the natural beauty of the stars. But with this, it does take me back to the start of the film, which is the start of every Dreamworks film, with the boy on the moon fishing. However, in this film, the boy on the moon is the protagonist of the story, Orion. Dreamworks has done this with a lot, with switching up who is on the moon, but now, for all theatrically released Dreamworks films, it'll be the same boy flying around saying hello to beloved Dreamworks characters. But for the sake of this film, which was a Netflix original, we see Orion on the moon, which puts into perspective that this is his story he's telling, which makes me realize something that has long been theorized, that the Dreamworks world is all the boy on the moon's imagination and a story he's conjured up, which is why he's the god figure of this world. It makes it evident that anybody can tell these stories, and it's sort of a beautiful thing. But with that, we have a film in Orion in the Dark that doesn't need to fit into the mold of the magic in this world, and can instead be sort of a sidetrack story that shows how tech is impacting the world through 3 different generations, and how anybody can be a storyteller in this world. It doesn't need to connect into the aliens, it doesn't need to connect into the animals, it doesn't need to connect into the magic. It just shows that even though magic is disappearing in this world in a lot of ways, there's still magic and imagination. With that though, we can jump into where in this timeline this story fits in. And this is one I'll place in modern day, given the light switch we see on the wall of Orion's grandson's room at the end being like something that is seen today in our world in some homes. That means it takes place right after Ruby Gilman Teenage Kraken, which also takes place in modern day and just happened to have come out last year instead of this year. And it takes place right before we arrive at the talking animal era, where we're gonna see the B movie, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, films like that, the bad guys. So films like that, right? And with that, I think the B movie is the first one to be in that era, given it's the first case where you see bees interacting with humans. They go to court, and it doesn't seem like everybody's that astounded by it. It just sort of happens, which is pretty weird. I'm not sure if that's more telling of the Dreamworks theory of the B movie, which is a very interesting movie. But with that, thank you for watching this video. Please let me know down in the comment section if you agree with how Orion in the Dark fits into this world, or if you actually do think the night entities are real. Also, let me know if you like the movie and what other video ideas you want to see related to the Dreamworks world. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time on Big Flick Energy.